Alright, I'm down in the southwest of Western Australia, just off Sue's Highway out of Busselton. And what you can see behind me here is the very start of Adelaide Road. It's a track I've never done before, but I read about in a magazine this week. And we're going to follow that down, so pretty much from Busselton all the way down to the Blackwood River. It's just gone 4 in the afternoon, so we're pretty keen to set up a camp before it gets dark, as it does get dark pretty quick in the southwest forests. And set up camp, get some dinner on, and we'll explore that bad boy a bit tomorrow. Do you remember last time when you were letting tyres down with a machete?
I've learned from my mistakes.
Doing it the quick way.
We followed the sandy track winding through the scrub for about 500 metres, keeping our eyes peeled for a good spot to camp. We didn't come across one though, not before we sunk down into this horrible swampy area. We chose to go around the bog holes where we could, but then there came the point where we just couldn't go around. I wasn't leaving anything to chance, we were going to poke it with a stick.
Is it soft, Alex?
Yeah, nothing to it. Could have done that in 2-wheel drive. But you know, if we hadn't got out and poked it, Murphy would have showed up with his stupid law and got us bogged there for a fortnight or something. So there we were, just smashing bog holes without a care in the world. And all going pretty easily, but then... oh wait, what is that?
We're like 5 minutes down the track, just trying to find an innocent campsite. That old chestnut. And look what happens! We've been through 3 bog holes already, diligently poking them with a stick. And then we popped out and they just keep getting worse and worse. Ah. Oh. I know. Hashtag hard life. Too late in the day to be getting in trouble.
So off I walked with my stick to try and find the easiest line through.
Doesn't look too bad. Looked worse from back there.
We should see how deep it is. We should tell Bo to do it.
Yeah, we should tell Bo this is the easy way.
And I'm not going to get to camp just by walking places. I got to run back to that patrol and show them how real men drive. Bollocks. So much for that bold move.
I went down to 24 psi, which is sort of just my random track pressure. Now we've encountered mud and I'm going down to 16. Ain't no messing about.
With the tyres now down at 16 psi, I hopped in the patrol to give it one more go before admitting defeat and letting Bo pull me out. Of course, I couldn't see it at the time, and nobody else noticed it, but I bet you've already picked what's wrong here. I remained oblivious to the situation until I'd finished rigging the snatch strap and went to get back in the car. It was then I took a closer look at the mud around the front wheels and thought it didn't look very chopped up considering the amount of wheel spin I'd been having.
We've been stuck here for like half an hour and I've let my tyre pressures down to 16 and we're not going anywhere, and then I remembered my hubs are no longer auto. Oh shit. So I'm going to lock them in and we'll just get Bo to pull me out of the hole I've dug and then we should go alright.
Alright, here we go again, but with feeling this time. As you can see, the last of the daylight is just hitting that tree line. We put Bo through the other line, which turned out to be easier than the chicken track, and then moved on into a cosy little campsite. At first it just looked like a spot to stop and rest for the night. But as the evening wore on, I became more fond of this campsite. The weather forecast told us to expect about 4 degrees overnight. With plenty of firewood around, I wasn't too worried. Daniel was a little bit worried because he chose to sleep in a hammock under the stars. Little droplets of dew turned to ice. I haven't seen that since I was a kid. Chairs were all frozen stiff and wet, not much fun to sit in. Somehow, Daniel lived through the night.
So it was supposed to be 4 degrees according to Bo, but Bo was wrong and it was half a degree when I woke up. There's ice on the top of my tent and the chairs that got left out froze and the kettle's frozen and
Butane's frozen.
the butane's frozen. Nothing with butane in it works. Now the sun's coming up and it's getting a bit warmer, but half a degree it was, and I have no doubt that it got colder.
In between the cracks.
No, it's gone. That's fuel for the fire, that one.
We got a massive cook-up going. Daniel went for a walk, and Daniel goes for bloody long walks. That's why we had a pre-arranged signal to call Daniel back for breakfast.
That's so terrible.
So we spent too much time on the damn bugle and forgot about the bacon. Maybe Daniel's not getting his breakfast after all.
Stamp on it.
We were too busy bugling. I over-bugled. No.
Daniel, the bacon got on fire.
Daniel, did you hear us bugle?
Pretty sure everyone in 10 kilometres heard you bugle. You can hear the echoes.
We over-bugled and then we looked back and the whole bacon plate was on fire.
So we threw back our breakfast, backed up our camp, and hit the track again. It was a good little spot, and if you want the GPS coordinates to do the trip yourself, just head to the blog intentsoffroad.com and subscribe to the email list. I'll have all the track notes and downloads available there for the email subscribers.
Let's see what Adelaide Road really has for us today. So according to my GPS, this is pretty much the Margaret River here. I have read a warning that you wouldn't want to come through here during the wet weather or middle of winter, as it might be pretty full. I was going to walk it, but I don't think I even need to do that. Deepest spot. Right here.
It was so easy, I radioed Bo and told him not a drama. He hit it with a bit more momentum, just for the fun of it I guess, but that didn't turn out so well.
Why are we looking in the engine at the moment?
Fozenet's car just coughed and spluttered a bit. So we're going to check the airbox, but it'll be fine. It's probably the carby, entering the transistor.
Either this is a stupid design, or we're retarded, but we couldn't get the air filter out without removing the airbox.
Oh. There's your problem.
We're going to blow as much of the water out of that air filter as we can with the Blue Thunder. That's what we're calling it. Actually, no, it's called Truck Gear Line X air compressor.
So we got the air filter dry, cleaned all the muck out of the airbox, and then when we went to put it back together, all the clips broke and left like a 10mm gap at the bottom of the lid. Good thing we have a couple of rolls of duct tape on hand at all times. Never leave home without that stuff. Patch that bad boy right up.
That'll teach that water.
Hopefully.
I wish I could show you every single bog hole we went through, but believe it or not, there does actually come a point where you get sick of bog holes. I think it's about now we were starting to reach that point, but it didn't show any sign of letting up. Some of the holes had quite high centres, and if I didn't end up sitting on my diffs, Bose Navarro sure would have. We had to pick our lines carefully to avoid falling into the ruts. I was really starting to long for a good hill climb or something. Here's another long one. We were starting to get pretty slack with our stick poking by this point, and we paid for it. Well, I paid for it because I went first. You can even hear the revs saw there as the car comes to a rest on its diffs and the wheels just spin in the water for a second. Here it is again, from inside the car this time. My first reaction, turn straight around and grab all my cameras off the floor before the water can come in.
Splashes down there.
I hopped out via the window, so as not to let any water in, to go and get the recovery gear hooked up, and returned naked. And here's what happened in between those 2 points in time.
Oh, that's cold. Get it? Oh, we're supposed to put the snatch strap through it first.
Okay, ready to go again.
Ready.
Back it up a bit and we'll go again.
Alright, ready.
Okay, go.
What's happened?
I think it might have come detached somehow. I'll have a look. Freedom!
The next time, we managed to figure out exactly where the ruts were and avoid them.
What was that all about?
There's water on the clutch.
Oh.
The clutch dried out after 20 minutes or so, but it still judders to this day. So I guess keep your eye out for a future Backyard Mechanics episode where I'll be swapping the clutch in the driveway. By this point we seem to have passed the swampy section, which is nice. Bit of dry land, and we thought we'd take that opportunity to stop for a quick lunch break.
Almost got you. Oh, I hit a tree. Doesn't count.
This is seriously good fun. Next time you go bush, pinch one of your old man's golf clubs, or grab one or two from a second-hand store or op shop. We had so much fun, we nearly forgot to eat any lunch at all.
Ew!
Having already got muddy in our recovery efforts earlier, we didn't really care too much for poking them with a stick. I just jumped on in and walked right through. This is the real fun stuff. Slippery clay and technical driving. Okay, not that technical, but more technical than ploughing bog holes anyway.
Ew!
Listen to that rattly old bugger go. It's almost hard to hear the exhaust over all that rattling and grinding. Wait, here's the good bit. At the rate we were going, we were making terrible progress. I wanted to spend the night camped on the Blackwood River, and up until this point it looked like we might be camping another night along the track. Then all of a sudden it just cleared up. No mud, no ruts, no rocks, about 40 k's an hour. And before we knew it, we were at the Blackwood River.
That's the Blackwood River. We're at the Sue's Bridge day use area, which is chock full of people, like powerboating or something. And yeah, it's a pretty good track. I reckon you could knock it out in a day if you didn't mess around walking every bog hole like we did, or getting stuck because you left it in two-wheel drive. It was pretty legit, but I've got to leave you for a moment because Bo's got something to skip. You ready? No, ready? Two skips, yo. Okay, so you can camp at Sue's Bridge here. I'd assume it's paid. I haven't really had a look. It's got designated campsites because it's a national park campground. It's pretty nice, but we got a bit of the day left. So rather than camp here, we're heading off up Nannup Way, following the Blackwood River, and find a nice little spot up there.
Well everyone, that rounds out our Adelaide Road adventure. It took us a while, but in the end we found the perfect spot almost on the banks of the Blackwood River. Am I fishing? No, just contemplating life, with an expensive piece of carbon fibre in my hand, which does absolutely nothing to increase my chances of catching fish. As always, if you want more information on this trip, such as Google Earth image downloads, or GPS waypoints and track notes, just head to intentsoffroad.com. You'll find the blog post full of pictures and the story for this trip, and if you subscribe to the email newsletter, you can obtain these downloads free of charge. No, we didn't catch any fish. If you've enjoyed this video and you want to see some more, be sure to click that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. I'm doing a trip video like this every month. And I've also got the Backyard Mechanic series, where I do advanced mechanical repairs with practically no skills at all. There's always new stuff in the pipeline, so if you don't want to miss a thing, and you want to be my new best mate, make sure you're following Intents Offroad. Well, that's me done. We'll see you next time. Oh, wait up a sec. There's leftover spuds. What are we gonna do?
It's raining spuds.
That's what we think of spuds.